So my child is in kindergarten, and I didn't expect her to come home talking about vertices, digraphs, consonants, nouns, identifying the short U sound in the middle of words, having homework on Mondays and Tuesdays. I mean, we went from like daycare to this.
Yeah, I hear that like kindergarten nowadays is more like first grade. Like they keep upping the ante with school, giving these kids more and more things to do.
When I was a kid, I went through the public school system the whole way. She probably will too. But occasionally, like Catholic school kids would like transfer into our elementary school. Nina actually was one of those, and they were always way ahead of us. So we were like always like the dumpy public school that was way behind. And so yeah, maybe they're catching up a little bit. And it's like 3 teachers to, like 3 adults to 19 kids. And you know, everything you read is that like the predictor for success is like as much kind of personal time as possible. And and the homework has these like, it has check boxes that are like, did she complete this with one-on-one help? Did she complete it in a group, or did she complete it completely by herself? Like they'll mark that up. It's pretty good, man. I'm impressed.
Oh, well, I don't know. I went to Catholic school all my life. So
Yeah,
it was, basically a prison.
Catholic prison.
For Catholic prison. Everyone was angry, and, yeah, it was, and they had no like money or technology. Like they were always like 10 years behind the public schools. People said I got a better education than the public schools, but I don't know. I don't think school was really for me.
I've learned there's a few philosophical changes since we were children that I've learned about. And what I'll do is, as the years go by, I'll catalog these. We'll talk about them. So I've just learned a couple. A noun is now a person, place, or thing, or an animal. Because the thing didn't cover the base for.
Yeah, I would have thought thing, because you know animals don't have souls. You know?
So somebody, PETA had their way there.
PETA had their way.
But it's not. They kind of tack it on in a token kind of way. You know, like a person, place, or thing, or an animal. Like they'll kind of throw that.
Oh yeah, like sometimes why.
Sometimes why. Exactly. And then practice doesn't make perfect anymore. Did you know this?
No.
Practice makes progress. See, because
I guess it sort of makes sense, because like the perfect is the enemy of the good and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know, you spun it in a positive direction. I didn't know or forgot what digraphs were. You know, it's an sh sound like sh or ch.
Yeah.
But she's like,
oh yeah, my son is obsessed with ghost letter digraphs, which I had no idea what that was.
What's that? What's a ghost letter digraph?
I think it's like 2 letters that make a sound, but one of them like it's like honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I never learned it in elementary school.
Well, yeah, she has some kind of mantra. She was like, it's 2 consonants that work together and they do not fight. Like that's the whole thing. And the other, they take pictures of the kids like all day with their cell phones, and they send them to you on an app. We have this app called Blooms. And so it's kind of, they're like, hey, just a reminder, like PE is Wednesday this week, so bring in the clothes. Or we're doing a thing with apples, bring in a green, a red, and a yellow. They did something where they all had to vote on, they did like a box mac, but for apples. They did a taste testing, and they voted for who likes green, red, and yellow best. So I'm encouraged, because my school system, the school system she's going through now, I went to that very school. I actually went to like orientation day, where we sat like in their little teeny chairs and like took notes. And
Gabriel is finally into some extracurricular activity, which is gymnastics. It was like really weird.
We're doing that too.
Yeah, he says no. He's like me. Like I just like intrinsically will be like a homebody. I don't want to go to things. I'm not interested in your activities. But for some reason, he was like tumbling around the house, and he's like, hey, do you want to do something like this, like gymnastics? And he's like, yeah. And we were like floored, because he says no to everything. And so we're like, okay, sure. So we signed him up for gymnastics. And so Anna signs him up. And part of the thing is like, they're like, oh, to even sign up, you have to agree that they take pictures of him. that they can use whatever.
Right.
And Anna's like, I don't know if I want to agree to that. I'm like, you can't say no. So it's like either he takes does the gymnastics and gets the pictures, or he does. You could probably just say, like, because that's just the form that wouldn't let you fill out the form without that.
Nina can be a little bit sensitive about that too, certainly with the YouTube channel. And I get it a little bit more with the YouTube channel, but for this local stuff where it's like, well, what do you suppose is going to happen? Like I want somebody who's sensitive to this to like explain it to me like I'm stupid. Like a criminal will see the photo, get ideas.
I think it's just like, I don't know, sensitivity to like, oh, when they get older, it's like, oh, we shared your picture all the time everywhere. I don't know. It's like maybe it's like some rights thing. I think
it's like some privacy thing. I don't quite get it. Where I'm like, I don't know. But when I was a kid, like like everybody wanted their picture in the newspaper, you know.
Oh yeah, it was everyone was taking Polaroids and putting them up, you know.
Yeah,
we didn't think about it, but now I guess everything is like has strange like Mark Zuckerberg fingerprints all over everything. I mean,
fair enough.
So it's like, oh well.
Yeah, she does gymnastics and she does American Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, there was a ninja class in this gymnastic thing because you could do regular gymnastics or like a ninja thing, and we just picked regular gymnastics because it sounded more real than than that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's right. Except what we found was all it is like a soft play jungle gym. Okay. It's extra recess time. And for, when Nina signs her up for this stuff, I'm always like, oh man, like that's going to be even more evening stuff and even more active, because we do swim on Saturday afternoons. We do church, of course. And then, Tuesdays and Wednesdays we do like gymnastics and American Ninja Warrior. And
it adds up, and you're like one of those 90s parents that are always driving their kids to
stuff. And at first I thought like this is gonna be horrible, but actually like we all do enjoy it. Like we all get to kind of do stuff together because you do spend a lot of the workday just totally divorced from one another. So it's a cool. It's outside of like otherwise we stay home, we watch some TV, we play at home. It's good to do. Yeah. And the American Ninja Warrior, she is much for her. It's just like extra recess time. It's extra get energy out time. It's at least she's sensitive, and she's she has a lot of energy to get out, and so that sort of thing I think is helpful for her.
Yeah, like Gabriel's like a golden retriever. You put him outside and he just like bolts, he runs, and he just needs to get that energy out. I do like the gymnastics too, because Anna takes him, Gabriel, to gymnastics, and then I get to hang out with Noah alone, which is really nice. That's good. So I just like put him in the stroller. We take a walk to Dunkin' Donuts. We eat donuts together, and then we walk back.
That's excellent. That's great.
It's a nice little bonding experience because usually they're both around. And they're always crazy. So it's fun to have a one-on-one time.
He's 2 now, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he can chat with you a little bit, like
a little bit. He says things here and there. He's definitely a funny guy.
Yeah. She's getting better at homework, like because she started to tell me like, oh, this is boring, like making me sit here and do homework, and I'm like trying to instill in her the notion that like when you feel bored. Because boredom can really like destroy somebody's work ethic. I think it's like if you kind of answer the call of boredom. And so I'm trying to kind of teach her, like, when you feel bored, like engage harder, like make paying attention and doing the task the game. If you can, maybe this is just like a boy talking, but
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It seems she seems to respond to that somewhat.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.